Our next inductee is Coach Robert Herring.
Robert Herring. In high school at Louisville, Mississippi, Herring was a four-sport letterman. He played tight end in football, point guard in basketball, and was a pitcher in baseball. In track, his event was the pole vault, and he cleared more than 10 feet as an 8th grader. Herring played football, basketball, and baseball as a freshman at Mississippi College. That year, the Choctaws handed first-year Howard coach Bobby Bowden his only defeat in a 9-1 season by a 27-6 margin. After a year of junior college, Herring earned his undergraduate degree at Mississippi State. His first head coaching position was at Jones Valley in Jefferson County in 1969. Herring coached the Brownies for 4 years, then spent the 1973 season as an assistant at North Alabama. In 1974, Herring returned to his hometown of Louisville and coached Winston Academy to Mississippi private school state football titles in 1975 and 1983. His 1975 team was 13-0. In 1984, Herring came back to Alabama and led Aniana to a 9-2 record and a playoff appearance. With a resume that included 2 state championships in Mississippi and successful teams at Jones Valley and Aniana, much was expected of Herring when he was hired as head football coach at Oxford prior to the 1985 season. Herring did not disappoint. Each of Herring's 14 teams at Oxford reached the Alabama High School Athletic Association football playoffs. In 8 of those seasons, the Yellow Jackets were area champions. 3 times, 1988, 89, and 93, Oxford finished as AHSAA Class 5A state champions. In 1988, Oxford defeated Smith Station 21-14 in the championship game on the road. Oxford opened the 1989 season 2-2, then ran off 10 straight wins for a second consecutive state championship. Smith Station was again the opponent in the championship game, and Oxford won 37-35 before its home crowd. In the 1993 championship game at Oxford, the final was Oxford 35, Greenville 21. The 1988 and 1993 teams were each a perfect 14-0. During his career at Oxford, Herring's teams were 118-42. That worksheet included a 21-11 record in playoff games. He was selected Coach of the Year in Calhoun County by his coaching peers in 1986, 88, 91, 93, and 98. In 1993, the Alabama Sports Writers Association named Herring its State Coach of the Year for Class 5A. The 1993 Yellow Jackets finished the year in the USA Today Super 25 national rankings. Following the 1995 season, Herring was one of 6 athletic directors nationally and the only one in the Southeast to receive the prestigious Citation of Excellence from the National Federation of State High School Associations. Herring became head football coach at Newnan, Georgia prior to the 1999 season. 7 of his 10 Newnan teams reached the playoffs in Georgia's largest classification. The Cougars were playoff participants in each of Herring's final 6 seasons at Newnan and region champions in each of his last 3 years. In 2003 and again in 2008, Newnan reached the Class 5A semifinals. In 2008, Newnan's defense allowed only 4.4 points per game, best among 5A schools. Herring was selected by his peers as Region 4 5A Coach of the Year in 2006, 7, and 8. In 2008, he was recognized by the Atlanta Falcons as Georgia's 5A Coach of the Year. Following the 2008 season, Herring retired. His career record as a head football coach was 301, 118, and 3. Herring was elected to the AHSAA Hall of Fame in 2001.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame, we are pleased to welcome to the class of 2012, Coach Robert Herring. Hey, John did such a good job. I asked him when he just go ahead and do mine, on that. But anyway, I'd like to thank the selection committee myself on being selected. And I'd like to congratulate the other inductees on being selected to the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. it's a real big thrill for me. Matter of fact, 45 years of coaching, this is one of the highlights in my coaching career. You know, one thing we selected to the State Alabama High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, but most of us on stats, but I feel good about coming into this Hall of Fame because people who know you, seen you play, watch you play, or even hate you if you play their team back those days. But anyway, it's a thrill for me to be selected in this Hall of Fame, and it's a great honor. I'd like to introduce a few people that came tonight, and I think the greatest gift that someone can have is to have Christian mother and daddy. And I think the things that I was taught coming up, my mother and dad never did. I learned those kind of lessons in high school, college, and playing ball. So I'm real thankful that I had Christian parents. Anyway, my sister Harriet and her husband, Dr. Swift, is here from Jackson, Mississippi tonight. And then I want to introduce my family. Gail, my wife. And I thought about this, that if you had a Hall of Fame for coaches' wives, I would be sure that Gail would be right in there. Because all my 41 years she has been with me during my coaching, she's probably pushed me out the door and made me go to work whether I wanted to or not on some Sunday afternoons. And I can tell you this, she loves the wind better than anybody I've ever known. And I had to sleep with her at night, and some nights was bad. The best story I have is at Oxford one night at 1:30 on a Saturday morning. I couldn't sleep, and she wanted to sleep, and she touched me and said, "Honey, what they mean in the stands where they say all you do is run the ball up the middle?" I sat up in the bed and said, "Let me tell you one thing. We run the ball off left tackle, that's up the middle. We run over left guard, that's up the middle. We run over right tackle, that's up the middle. We run over right guard, that's up the middle. Don't you pay any attention to those crazy idiots in the stands anymore. Don't ask me why we run the ball up the middle." But anyway, she's been my best supporter, and I don't believe I'd be where I am if it wasn't for her, and I just appreciate that. Then with us tonight, we've got my oldest daughter, Reagan, and grandson, Dylan, and got Randa and Robert and Ryan, and Randa's the only smart one. She's in real estate, and other Reagan, Robert, and Ryan, they all are coaches, so they sort of followed the dead, and I don't know how smart that was on that. But anyway, coaching in Oxford was, when I moved there, I didn't know how it was going to be because Coach Burgess had such a great career there, and I really let people know I wanted to take Coach Burgess' place. I was just going to be the head coach. So when I realized what kind of discipline I was inherited, Coach Rick and I was in the weight room about to working with Dale, and a junior came to me and punched me on the shoulder, and I didn't know what he wanted. He said, "Coach, can I go to the bathroom?" I've never in the weight room, and you got grown men in there lifting weights. You would not think one would ask you, could you go to the bathroom? And so right off I said, well, I hadn't got to worry about discipline because Coach Burgess had them all lined up like you're supposed to be. But anyway, at Oxford, it's strictly a town that loves the sports, and they go back you with the demand winning, and I think that's what made sports so good at Oxford. But I'll never get to 7th, 8th grade, Sal Gardner. I knew who was going to be playing for me the next 4 years. What position? So Sal was in all the park games. Don Hudson did a great job having our recreation out there. So Sal would tell me how many guys are going to play. Then Wayne Livingston, I never worried about a junior high, 9th grade practice, what discipline going on, what offense they was running, whatever. Wayne probably has the best winning percentage of any of us coaches at Oxford, and I appreciate those two people, what they did on our young pro with not a lot of money, did it more for just love, and they get the son or their nephews to help them coach back then. But anyway, then I had two guys. I never get hired, Coach McCall, and he was coaching B team for Coach Burgess, and so I kept Coach McCall. I wanted him to work with us in the spring to see, and I had Coach Larry Davidson. Larry was a nice ball coach, and I've always had a philosophy: if you can, if you can guard a man on baseball and keep him going to goal, you probably play man-to-man defense and keep that guy from scoring. Or if you play in zone, the baseball coach if we could coach receivers, he knows how to make a cut to the basket. So I was happy with Coach Davidson coaching with us. But then I got ready to hire Coach McCall after spring training. I never would forget, I called Coach in. I said, Coach, I want you to come up and help us on varsity. I want you to coach defense for us. Big old alligator tears come from his eyes. And I never will forget that, because from that day on, Coach was one of the most loyal people that I've ever known, and one of the best Christian guys I've ever known. And you need those kind of guys in your program if they can be role models for your guy. Then I was sitting at a coaching meeting up in North Alabama when I was coaching Oneonta, and a guy said, if you ever need a good line coach, your best line coach in North Alabama is a guy named Tim Britt. Well, I said, boy, that's good. Never thought about it another time. And then I got a call from Dan Perry, a friend out at Saks, and said, Coach, I can maybe get you an interview at Oxford. I said, well, I don't know about Oxford. He said, well, I think I can get you an interview. So he called up and he got me an interview, and how I really ended up at Oxford. So when I finally got the job, which was so funny, I interviewed with the principal and the superintendent and talked, and then one day they called and said, Coach, we're going to see if the board will okay you. If they do, want you to come by and sign a contract. And sure enough, they accepted me, and I went by, and Mr. Cassie, one of the nicest guys I've ever talked to. This is what we want you to do. We want you to be your football program. We're going to do this. And what was good, gave me a 4-year contract. I've never had anything like that. And so I shook hands with Mr. Cassie, and he was always I got ready to walk out the door, and he said, Coach, I forgot to tell you one thing. I said, yes, sir. He said, you lose 2 years in a row, I can't keep you. That's when we went to work. Coach Rick, Coach Colin, that's when we went to work, and who suffered was the coaches and the kids. We had overworking, making sure we stayed there. But anyway, what makes it tough about Oxford was that I had 2 friends, Larry Garner and Don Perkins lived across the street. They was always kidding me. They wanted to know the first play every Friday night. They was, Coach, what is going to be your first play? And I tell them what the first play was going to be. I never get one time we had a sort of hard time, and Perk said, well, Coach, I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to back you. I'm going to be with you, win the tie. So I knew right there where Perk stood. It wasn't going to be any losing. It's going to be a win or a tie. On that bill, but that's why the people were knocking. I went one morning, I always go by Bruce Dixon one stop and get a honey bun and a drink. And we'd win games, and as soon as I drive up to the park, hey coach, how's going on the place? I said, man, I love this place. This is a football place. We got beat one game. I rode back, the same guy. I saw him walking around. How you doing, Mr. Herring? They let me know when you lose, you miss the head, and when you win, you coach in. So that's what I got out of Oxford. You better be ready to win. But anyway, it was a great run. A place for me to be and to raise our kids. And all our kids graduated there. And really, when we think of home, we still think of Alabama. We still think about Oxford. And when we won that first state championship, I never will forget. The guy was interviewing me, he said, Coach, what does this mean to you? I said, well, to every football player at Oxford that ever wore a pair of gold pants, they had worked just as hard as we did. They didn't win a state championship, but they love it, and they believe black and gold. And really, to me, this is a championship for Calhoun County. And I can remember telling you people that night, when you win for the county, and that's why I've always loved Calhoun County football, and it's some of the toughest I've ever seen. But I got a few people from Newton that came over, Coach Bob Sam and his wife Pam coaching me, and then Coach Bryant is here for me, and Coach Bryant coaches defense, and I got to say this about him. Valdosta High School is the winningest state championship team in America. Coach Bryant, defense coordinator, first time in the history of Valdosta High School in the playoff, they got beat. First time ever get beat the first round, and you beat them this last year, beat Valdosta. And I told somebody, I said, you know, you can beat some teams all you want to, but if you beat Valdosta in Georgia, people know like California, Ohio, Texas, they know if you ever beat Valdosta. So anyway, I've enjoyed being at Newton, but it was a little different from Oxford. That in Oxford, people love the ball a little more. They come out a little more. They back the team in more. But anyway, I'm just proud to be a part of this group that's up here tonight. I want to thank all y'all for coming, and thank you.